that we play a little more today in our practice. Challenge yourself. Have a little fun. So settle into where you can breathe best, whether in a simple seated position. We are going to start our practice from child's pose today. So if you want to start with the knees wide, big toes touching, sitting on your heels, I'd highly suggest starting in child's pose. If you find it easier to settle into your breath and start your practice on your back, you always have permission. Remembering that whenever I share my practice with you, my words are simple suggestions. Always allow this to be your practice. So as we settle into our mat, settle into our breath, just notice where you're holding tension to start today. Are your molars pressing against one another? Can you find more space between them? Allow your jaw to soften. Feel that softness drop between the shoulders and the ears. And maybe just sink a little bit deeper into the foundation you've chosen on the four corners of your mat. Simply observe your breath here. Allow yourself to follow it all the way in and all the way out without trying to change it any. Thoughts and emotion tend to arrive like uninvited guests, both positive and negative. If you struggle to control them, you become more attached. Just pause. Simply observe. Acknowledge their presence, but don't assume that they belong to you. After acknowledging all these thoughts and emotions, just allow them to be. Watch them. They usually leave earlier than expected if we don't attach ourselves to them. Notice if you still have your awareness on your breath, where your observation is gone. And as you allow these thoughts and emotions to arrive without attaching to them, but simply observing them, notice how much new wisdom and courage will manifest. Let's try to take this observation to our practice today. I'm going to make it a little spicier today. So I want you to allow yourself to simply observe the movement, the breath, and not get attached to what shape you need to be, or if you're doing it right or wrong. Let's take 5 more full breaths here. So whatever shape you've settled into, on your back body, seated or in child's pose. Maybe even count the length of that next inhalation and allow the exhalation to be the same length. Observe the changes in your body as you simply count this breath in and count it out. And if you're not already in child's pose, just make your way there by touching your big toes together, taking your knees wide, and then just wiggle your chest deep in between your thighs. If you're already there, maybe find a little more space. Make it nice and active. Reach the arms far forward, spread the fingers a little bit wider. And as you inhale that length from the fingertips to the bottom of your sit bones on your heels, see if you can soften that space between your shoulders and ears. Take one more full breath in here, and as you exhale, walk your hands all the way over to the left. Keep those sit bones deeply grounded onto your heels. Keep that softness between your shoulders and ears. And as you inhale, see if you can just expand that space between the lower right hip and the armpit. And as you count that same inhalation all the way in, expanding the length on the right side body, can you keep that length as you exhale but soften? 2 more full breaths in this way. And let's all exhale completely. And on the inhale, gently walk your hands back to center. Find that length, reset that length. And on the next exhalation, walk your hands all the way over towards the right. Draw that left sit bone deeper down to the left. Relax the forehead to the floor and take another full breath in. See if you can find that same space along the left side body. 2 more full breath cycles here. Really working on just observing the breath as it comes in. Noticing the sensations without judgment or criticism. And on the next exhalation, slowly walk the hands all the way back to center. And as you inhale, rise up just slightly so you can now thread the right arm underneath the left. Reach all the way for the left side of the room, settling onto the right shoulder and the right temple. On your inhalation, draw your hips deep back to the right, and as you exhale, surrender a little bit deeper into your right shoulder. Take one more big, delicious breath here. And when you're ready to draw your next breath in, press into your left hand, rise up so you can extend the right arm forward, thread the left arm underneath the left. Draw the hips back towards the left, sink deep into that left shoulder and ear. Maybe even find a little more awareness as you inhale, press into that right hand. Push the front of your mat away and draw your sit bones down and back. And on the next inhalation, press into the right hand so you can gently rise up. Inhale, unroll the vertebrae one at a time, rising all the way up into your tabletop position till the shoulders come over top of the fingertips. Spread the fingers wider. Adjust so the knees fall underneath the hips and curl all 10 toes under. Soften that space between your shoulders and ears, and on the next inhalation, move into your cat-cow. Drop your belly to the mat, press the sit bones to the back wall. Heart draws forward, crown reaches to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck your chin, hollow your belly, round your back. On each inhalation, just drop your belly towards the mat. Lengthen through the front body, exhale and round. Remember today, we're just simply trying to observe. As things arrive, thoughts, emotions, feelings, needing a certain shape, a certain space. Don't become attached to it. Just observe, breathe, simply move. Next time you come back to a nice neutral spine, reset your tabletop position, spread your fingers a little bit wider, and moving into our bird dog, extend the left arm forward. Turn your thumb towards the sky, spread through all 5 fingers, and then add that right leg. Pause here. Notice if the head's an extension of the spine. Can you allow the chin to not tuck but not lift? The breath to lengthen as you lift through the right heel but drop the right hip. Keep this nice strong back body line. Feel the heat that's starting to arise in the body. And on the next exhalation, knee to elbow, hollow the belly, round the back, touch the left elbow to the right knee. Inhale, find a little more length. Exhale, tuck the chin, hollow the belly, round the back. Inhale and lengthen. 3 more full breaths here. Take your time. How slow can you move with your breath? What are you observing? Are you labeling it, or can you simply just observe? On the last one, find full extension, but allow the left hand to come back to the mat. Modified side plank. Turn your left heel up to the left. Drop that right leg to the back of the mat. Sweep right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Maybe even take them all the way over to the front of the mat. Keep a soft bend in that left elbow. Inhale, lift your right hip, reach through your fingertips. Re-lengthen the breath. And on the exhalation, roll back to all fours. 3 full cat-cows. Reset the rhythm of your breath. Just observe the rippling of one vertebrae at a time. And as we connect more to our inner world, staying with our breath, this time extend the right hand forward. Spread the fingers, thumb reaches for the ceiling, and then add that left leg. Flex the ankle, flare the toes, point them down. Shift the weight forward so your shoulders over your fingertips. Find a little more length as you reach through your fingertips, but press through the sole of your foot. And on the next exhalation, tuck your chin, hollow your belly, round your back. Inhale, reset that length. Exhale and round. 3 more full breaths here. Take the time to really lengthen. Take the time to follow your breath. 1 more. And on the next inhalation, when you find that length, plant the right hand to the mat. Turn the right heel out to the right and let that back left leg just settle to the back of your mat. Roll open to the left side, sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And as you settle into your modified side plank, maybe reach those left fingertips to the front of the mat. With each inhalation, draw the navel in, lift the left hip to the ceiling. Enjoy that same length through the left side body with a full breath in. And on the exhalation, when you roll back to all fours, reset your tabletop position. 3 cat-cows, tuck all 10 toes under. Notice the length in the soles of the feet. Notice a little more length on the front body on the inhale. And maybe even pause at the end of your exhale and absorb that space between shoulder blades and spine. 1 more full round of breath. And on the next exhalation, all the way into downward dog, lift the sit bones up and back. Let's keep a strong bend in our knees for the first one. Spread the fingers a little wider. Hands are shoulder width distance. Gaze drops between the feet. And when you're ready, bend the right knee, drop the left heel. And then bend the left knee, drop the right heel. Bicycle through your knees. Find a little more space in that upside down V shape. And then when you're ready, inhale high on all 10 toes. Exhale, let the heels descend, even though they may not physically drop. 2 more full breaths here. And when you settle, spread the fingers wider. Draw the navel in, shift the sit bones up and back so you feel like you can reach those bones in your bum to where the back wall and the roof meets in your room. And then without losing that length on your next inhalation, soften the space between your shoulders and ears. Take 1 more full breath in here, and then I want you to soften the bend in your knees so you can slowly walk your hands all the way back towards your toes. Settling into a forward fold at the back of your mat. Take a big breath and lift your chest, lengthen through your spine. Exhale and surrender up and over your thighs here. It's our first forward fold, so give yourself permission to really soften the bend in the knees. Maybe you balance on 2 blocks. Maybe you balance on your fingertips. Maybe you hold opposite elbows. But as we settle into our ragdoll, allow the crown of the head to descend. Maybe even sway side to side. Do you like stillness? Do you like movement? Let's all take 1 more exhalation. Shift more weight to the balls of your feet. Let the crown of the head really descend. Trust yourself. And as you exhale and release any bind you might have in the hands, use your inhalation to rise all the way up slowly. Soft bend in the knees. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Palms touch. Gaze moves up. Stay nice and tall, and on your exhalation, drop the arms behind the back. Interlace the fingers. Soften the bend in your knees. Draw your hands down to the mat. Inhale, lift the heart up. And on the exhalation, lead with your heart as you fold forward. Keep bending the knees until the chest settles on the thighs. And as you exhale, let the arms drop overhead. Let the crown descend. 3 full breaths here. Notice if you're clenching your jaw. Soften the space between your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Let yourself shift forward. 1 more full exhalation. Let it all the way out. Release the interlace of the fingers and slowly walk your hands forward till you arrive in a high plank position. Press through the heels, lining the heels over the toe mound. Soften the bend in your elbows. Draw your navel in. And then just allow your head to be an extension of your spine. Not tucking the chin, not lifting the chin. Pause here with your breath. We're going to stay here for a little bit today. Remember, I said we're going to play a little more, make it a little spicier, add a little more heat. So can you keep this strong back body line? Permission to drop to your knees whenever you need to. But soften the breath. Take one more full breath in. And on the exhalation, lower halfway, chaturanga, but really keep the shoulders above the elbows. Inhale, press back up. Exhale, slowly lower till the elbows hug the rib cage. Shoulders are above elbows. Inhale, rise back up. Remember, you have permission to go from your knees here. 2 more full breaths. And on the next exhalation, whether from your belly on the mat or from chaturanga, point your toes. Draw your chest forward and up. Really draw the navel in. Find length through the front body. Keep the space between your shoulders and ears soft. Feel free to drop to your knees here. Curl your toes under. Lift your sit bones up and back. Downward dog. Spread the fingers wide. Reset your foundation. Hands and feet in the same line. Full breath out. Alrighty, starting to add a little more movement. Step the big toes together. Sweep the right heel high to the sky. Square the hips here. Don't worry about how high your leg is. Can you spread your fingers a little bit wider? Flex your ankle of your floating foot. Point your toes down. And as you inhale, press through the sole of that right foot. Keep that length on every inhalation, but soften the space between your shoulders and ears. One more full breath in here. And on the exhalation, draw the knee all the way to your nose. Hollow your belly, round your back. Make enough space to plant that right foot between the hands. Pause in your runner's lunge. Wiggle that left heel back. Squeeze the inner thighs, and on your inhale, rise all the way up into your crescent lunge. On the exhalation, as you settle into your space, let's drop the arms behind our back today. Interlace your fingers. Pull the hands down and back. Lift the heart up. 2 more full breaths here. Lighten those front right toes. But with each inhalation, press through the left heel, light up that left thigh to the sky. Exhale, soften the right sit bone to the mat. 1 more full breath in, and as you exhale, release the interlace of the fingers, sweep the fingertips back to the ceiling. Keep this strong foundation in your lunge and twist open. Right fingertips to the back of your mat, left fingertips forward. Spread your fingers wide. And then on the next inhalation, sweep all 10 fingertips back to the ceiling. Warrior 2, drop your left heel to the mat. Let the arms come at shoulder height. Open your hips up to the long side of the mat. Lighten through your toes. So your hips line up with the long side of the mat. Shoulders soften from the ears. Gaze over those right fingertips. Maybe a peek. You can see your right big toe just inside your thigh. And on the exhalation, reverse your warrior. Left arm behind the back, right fingertips to the sky. Let that right sit bone sink. And on the exhalation, windmill the right arm inside the right thigh. Opening up into side angle, roll the rib cage open, sweep left fingertips up towards the ceiling, or maybe all the way overhead. Notice if your toes are still light. What's the length of your inhale and your exhale? And on the next exhalation, windmill the hands to the floor. Pause in that runner's lunge. Maybe reset it. Draw those left heels in. Moving into revolve side triangle. Bring that left arm on the outside of the thigh. Press the palms together. Inhale, lift the chest and lengthen. With each inhalation, press through that left heel again. Exhale, just gently twist from your belly. Take 1 more full breath in here. Pause with your breath. Settle into your twist. And then I'm just going to have you release the hands. Place the left fingertips in front of your right toes. Moving into revolve, half moon. Bounce off those back left toes. Maybe place the right hand to the sacrum or all the way up towards the ceiling. And on the exhalation, rolling into our half moon. Right fingertips settle to the mat. Left hip opens up towards the left. Left fingertips reach for the sky. Pause here. Soften the bend in your right knee. Stack shoulder over shoulder. And as you flex that ankle and flare the toes of that floating foot, steady yourself on your own breath. On the exhalation, let the left fingertips come back to mat. Keep lifting through the left heel, but level your pelvis with your mat. Point those left toes down and preparing for warrior three. Keep a soft bend in the right knee. Start to lift your chest. Maybe spread the fingertips out towards the side, maybe to the back wall. Notice what's happening to your breath. Observe where you're getting tight. Release that tension. Lose that resistance and then pull that left knee in towards the chest to slowly rise up. Left foot will settle inside the thigh, the calf, or maybe on the ankle. And as you reset your balance in your tree posture, bring your hands to heart center. Soften your gaze to the front of your mat. And on the exhalation, cross the left foot over the right. Let the sit bones sink towards the mat in your standing pigeon. Pause here. When you find your depth, just cross the left thigh all the way over the right to balance on the left toes. Preparing for eagle pose. Settle here. Feel free to wrap those toes around the ankle. Inhale the arms out at shoulder height, and as you exhale, cross the left arm on top of the right. Bend your elbows, turn your palms out, and as you draw your hands together, inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, sink the sit bones. Two more big, beautiful breaths here. Remember, we're just simply observing, not attaching to what shape you need. Just play today. And on that exhalation, completely unwind. Extend that left foot back. Let the fingertips come down to the mat. And surrender into your single-legged forward fold. Remember, permission to take a double-leg fold. Maybe balance on the fingertips. Maybe play with holding that ankle. And on the next exhalation, let the left toes meet the right. Inhale, lift your chest and lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step or jump the feet into a high plank position. As you exhale, lower halfway to chaturanga all the way to the belly. Inhale, draw the chest forward and up. Linger, enjoy that length. Exhale, curl the toes under, lift the sit bones up and back. Exhale, downward dog. Remember, at any point in time, you can settle into child's pose here. Reset the rhythm in your breath. Reobserve what's arising without attaching to it. If we can practice all these things on our four corners on our mat, it's easier to take it out into the real world, off of our mat. But allow yourself to just observe while you're in the safe four corners. Step the big toes together. Inhale, sweep the left heel high to the sky this time. Really flex the ankle, flare the toes down. Don't worry about the height, but keep that pelvis level. Use the fingertips, press into the mat, push it away, let the chest get closer to the thighs. Really relax the head and lengthen the breath. And on the exhalation, when the knee comes to the nose, hollow the belly, round the back, come high on those back right toes so you can make enough space to plant that left foot between the hands. Press through the right heel. And on that strong foundation, inhale, rise all the way up into your crescent lunge. Exhale, sink into your space, dropping the arms behind the back to interlace the fingers. Opening up across the chest, lift the heart, lengthen out of the pelvis, and exhale, sink back into that space, keeping the torso long. Can you relax the shoulders from the ears by drawing the shoulder blades down the back body? Take one more big full breath in here, expand across the chest, and on the inhale, sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Keep that strong foundation. Twist your crescent lunge. Left fingertips to the back wall, right fingertips forward. Fingers spread, right hip draws forward. Left sit bone sinks to the mat as you exhale. And on the next inhalation, when all 10 fingertips reach for the ceiling, warrior two, drop the right heel to the mat. Open up to the long side of your mat and allow your shoulders to soften away from the ears. Lift up through all 10 toes here. Take a quick peek at that left big toe that you can see it just inside your thigh. And then let yourself sink into your own space. One more full exhalation. And on the next exhale, drop that right hand behind the back, left fingertips to the sky. With each inhalation, lengthen between your left hip and armpit. Exhale, let that left sit bone sink. Observe if your toes are still light. And on the next exhalation, windmill the left arm inside left thigh. Side angle posture, right fingertips up towards the ceiling, Or maybe you reach them all the way overhead for the front of your mat. But keep letting that left sit bone drop. Roll that rib cage open. Observe your breath here. Your perception is simply your lens, how you see things. You can choose to change it at any time. And on the exhalation, when you mail the hands to the floor, readjust your runner's lunge. Press through that right heel. Find that space between your chest and your thigh. And revolve side angle. Bring that right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Press the palms together. Inhale. Press through the right heel. Lift your chest from your thigh. Exhale, twist from your belly. Notice your breath. With each inhalation, can you observe pressing through your right heel and exhale, twisting from your belly? And on the next exhale, just release the hands. Plant the right fingertips in front of the left toes. Bounce off the back right toes and lift that right heel up towards the sky. Revolving half moon. Really press through the soles. Right here, I'll move so we can see. And on the exhalation, when you release the twist, left fingertips come in front of those left toes. Roll the right hip on top of the left. Keep that awareness on your floating foot as you extend the right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Pause and just settle into whatever shape is right for your body. Maybe you have a block under those left fingertips. Maybe you have a soft bend in that left knee. Allow your own shape to take place. Observe your own breath. And see if you can actually feel a little more joy. And on the exhalation, when the right fingertips come back to the mat, turn the right toes down to face the mat, but keep the right heel lifted, the pelvis parallel. Keep that soft bend in the left knee. We're probably all shaking. And then inhale, lift the chest, extend the fingertips out to the side, maybe to the back wall. Observe where you're starting to resist and soften, and then pull that right knee all the way into the chest to rise all the way up. Sole of that right foot settles inside the thigh, maybe inside the calf, maybe on the ankle. But palms press, shoulders relax. Crown reaches to the ceiling as you lengthen your breath in and allow yourself to just move with those little wavers. Not resisting, not trying to control. The same way, if we just stop trying to control the thoughts that arise, then we attach to them and they stay longer. Just observe. And then when you exhale, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Let the sit bones sink towards the mat. Let the chest lift. Notice the length in every inhalation and every exhalation as you sink. When you settle into your depth, cross the right thigh all the way over the left. Balance on the right toes, preparing for eagle posture. Stay here. Permission to stay on those toes. If you did so on the other side, wrap your right toes around that left ankle. Inhale, sweep the arms out at shoulder height, and as you exhale, cross the right arm on top of the left this time. Bend the elbows, turn the palms out, and draw the hands together. Inhale, lift your elbows up, and as you exhale, take the hands away from the forehead, let the sit bones sink. With a deep inhalation, resist your twist in opposite direction. And on the exhalation, completely unwind. Extend that right foot behind you. Lift it up towards the ceiling and exhale and fold. Surrender here. Let it all go. And on the next exhalation, let the right toes meet the left. Lift the chest halfway. Maybe hands are even on the shins. Exhale and fold. Soften the bend in your knees. Plant your hands. Step, jump, or hop into your high plank position. On your exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale to draw the chest forward and up in cobra upward dog. Keep the core engaged. Exhale, draw the belly and lift the sit bones up and back. Flip the toes, downward dog. Drop the gaze between the feet. Full exhalation. Reset the rhythm in your breath. Start to observe the whispers in your body. The stories that are arising without attaching to them. Breathe here. And then when we're ready, let's step the big toes together once again. Inhale, sweep that right heel high to the sky. Bend the knees, turn the hips open. This time, maybe come high on those left toes. Let that right heel get really heavy and drop towards the left. See if you can keep even weight in your hands. Square your shoulders. And on your inhale, lift your right knee up and away from your armpit. On the exhalation, draw your knee to your right elbow. Hollow your belly around your back. Inhale, sweep your right foot high to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. Make it feel delicious. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, a little more length, and then exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. On the next exhalation, draw the knee all the way over to the left elbow. Pause here. Round your back. Find space, and extend that right foot out to the left. Land on the outer edge of that pinky toe foot. Let the left heel drop, let the hips lift. Fall in triangle. Maybe it's different for you. Just play. Exhale. Roll back to your high plank position. Draw your knee to your nose so you can plant that right foot to the outside of that right pinky finger. Let the left knee settle to the mat. Point your toes. Press to the top of your foot. And on your exhalation, heel toe that right foot to the outer edge of your mat. Lift up through your big toe mound and let your hand come inside your thigh. With each inhalation, lift your chest from your thigh, and as you exhale, gently twist open towards the right. Settle into your own shape, your own breath here. And remember, if you want to bind here, inhale the right fingertips towards the ceiling. And as you exhale and reach for the back of your mat, bend your left knee. Just don't force this. Make sure you're on the top of that left knee. And with every breath in, can you still lift your heart? Can you still broaden across the collarbone? What are you trying to control? Release. And on the exhalation, when you release the bind, heel toe that left foot to center. Frame the foot with both hands. Curl the back left toes under. And as we move into our half splits, pull your sit bones evenly to the back of your mat. Flex your right foot, slide your hands towards you and lift your chest. Exhale and fold. On the inhalation, lift your chest, glide forward, sweep your fingertips up towards the ceiling, monkey lunge. Exhale, pull the hips back, flex the foot, hinge the hips, fold. Let's float with our own breath. Inhale, lunge forward, extend up. Exhale, pull back. 3 more full breaths here. Move with the rhythm of your breath. Let yourself find a little more joy in your own movement. A little more space in your own breath. Can you take that serious look off the face, add a smile. And on the next inhalation, when you glide forward, bring your hands all the way inside your thigh this time. Lift the left knee away from the mat, moving into a wide-legged forward fold. Turn all 10 toes to the long side of your mat. Walk your hands to the center of that long side. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale and fold. Soften the bend in your knees. Now, here's where I really don't want you to worry about your shape. Just let yourself surrender forward. Trust your balance. Feel weight in the balls of the foot. And on your next inhalation, when you rise, lift your chest. Heel toe the feet to the outer corners of your mat. Moving into goddess pose. Rise up with the chest. Exhale, twist right shoulder inside left knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, left shoulder into right. Take 2 more breaths on each side. And on the next inhalation, when you come to center, rise all the way up. Turn all 10 toes to the front of your mat. Fold forward to plant your hands to the mat, standing right foot back to left. Inhale into your high plank position. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way. Inhale, draw the chest forward. Linger on the end of your inhalation. Enjoy that length. Exhale, draw the belly in. Lift the hips up and back. Flip the toes. Downward dog. Full exhalation. 3 full breaths in. And as you step the big toes together, sweep the left heel high to the sky. Bend the knee, turn the hips open to the left. Stacking left hip on right, coming high on the right toes. Spreading the fingers a little bit wider to draw the chest closer to that right thigh, Letting that left heel get heavy towards the right buttocks. Take one more full breath in. And as you exhale, bring your knee to your left elbow, hollow your belly, round your back, pause. Inhale, sweep left foot high to the sky, bend the knee, open the hips. Exhale, knee to nose, hover, hollow. Inhale, sweep left foot high to the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, find a little more space with that breath in. And on the exhalation, when you draw the knee to the right elbow, pause here, hollow your belly, extend the left foot out to the left. Land on the outside of that pinky toe. Let the right heel drop to the mat. And when you roll open towards the right, sweep fingertips up, lift hips up. Maybe the right arm falls behind, maybe it doesn't. But with every inhalation, see if you can lift your hips, open your heart. You can be sitting on your bum if you want. And on the exhalation, roll back to your high plank position. Draw your knee to your nose, hollow the back, so you can step that left foot just to that outer left pinky. Let the right knee settle to the mat, point the right toes. Heel toe that left foot to the outer edge of your mat, and as you drop that left knee open, left hand, left thigh. Inhale, lift the chest, exhale, twist from the belly. Settle here. Pause in your own space. Observe your own breath. And only if you did so on the other side or you need more, inhale, left fingertips to sky. Reach for the back of the mat, bend the right knee, and as you gently bind onto that right foot, use every inhalation to lift the heart. Exhale, draw the left shoulder away from the right, expand across the collarbone. Observe this space. Observe your breath. Make it feel joyful. And on the exhalation, when you release the bind, heel toe that left foot back to the center of the mat. Frame the left foot with both hands. And as you curl those back right toes under, draw your hips to the back of the mat. Flex your left foot, slide your fingertips towards you. Maybe even have blocks under your fingers here. Where can you find a long spine, a lifted chest, and then exhale and just hinge at your hips. Let the head drop in line with the spine. Let the breath flow freely. And on your next inhalation, lift your chest, glide forward, sweep your fingertips up, monkey lunge. Exhale, pull your hips back. Fold into any new space, but try to keep your hips square to the front of your mat. Inhale to lunge forward, find more length through your torso. Exhale, draw your hips back, surrender into your own fold. 3 more full breaths in this way. Remember to play. Move with joy. And as you start to feel a little more ease, a little more space, lunge forward, bring both hands inside that left thigh. Finding that same wide-legged forward fold. Inhale the right knee from the mat, turn all 10 toes to the long side of the mat, walk your hands to the center. Pigeon toe your toes in as you lift your chest and lengthen. And on your exhalation, fold forward. Maybe find a different variation here. Maybe you want to hold onto your ankles. Maybe you want to bend your knees, find a little more space, a little more movement. And when we'll return to center, inhale to lift our chest. Heel toe your feet so they're a little bit wider and a soft bend in your knees. And as you inhale, rise all the way up, sweep the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Palms touch, gaze up, maybe even a small back bend, hips press forward, chest lifts up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, stay tall, just bring your hands to your heart center. Skadavasana, my favorite, half side squat. Bend through that left knee, turn the right toes up towards the ceiling, let the sit bones sink. Remember, balance on your fingertips, a block you choose. Inhale, press into the sole of that left foot, rise all the way up. Bend through the right knee. Keep the toes in line with the knees. And then flex that left ankle. Flare those toes up. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to sink into that space. Inhale, press into the sole of your foot. Feel your own strength. Exhale and descend. Use your fingertips if you like. But let's go 2 more times to each side at your own pace. Your own shape, your own depth. Change your perception of where you think you should be, what you should look like, how you should move, and simply just breathe and enjoy the movement. And next time we inhale and rise to center, just turn all 10 toes to the front of the mat. Plant the hands to the mat so you can step left foot back to right. Inhale into your high plank position. On your exhalation, float through that vinyasa, return to downward dog or choose child's pose. Remember, these are your 4 corners, your practice. Play with me today in your own way. Spread your fingers, soften your gaze. Hear your next exhalation. Reset the rhythm in your breath here. And preparing to come to the front of your mat. Inhale high on all 10 toes. Bend your knees, look between your hands, and just bounce off your toes, holding your core up. Cross your legs, settle into that seated position. When you're ready, plant your feet to the front of the mat. Slide your hands onto the back of your thighs. Lift your chest, broaden across your collarbone. And moving into Dhammasana, bring the calves parallel to the mat. Reset those sit bones right to the tip of them. Stay here or choose to spread through the fingers, spread through the toes. And on the next exhalation, slowly lower with your exhale, 1 vertebrae at a time. On the inhalation, lead with your heart, rise up, get a little bit taller. Remember, you have permission to slide your hands down the back of those thighs. Use the back of those thighs to draw yourself up, find more length through your spine. 1 more full breath in this way. This time, settle all the way onto your back. Bend your knees to slide your heels to that longest finger. And on the next inhalation, lift the hips evenly up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Keep the foundation of the feet strong. Wiggle your hands towards your heels to find your outer shoulders. Soften that space in your throat, and on the inhalation, press the shins forward. Lift the hips up. Feel your heart lift up and towards the back wall. Take 1 more full breath in here. And on the exhalation, when you release that, interlace the fingers and unroll the vertebrae 1 at a time. Resist the urge to bring the knees in and just heel toe the feet as wide as the mat. Move into your windshield wiper, drop your knees to the right, inhale them back to center, and as you exhale, let the knees fall to the left. Inhaling back to center. 1 more time on each side. And on the next inhalation, heel toe the feet so they're hip width distance apart again. This time, just cross the right ankle over the left knee. And on the next inhalation, a figure 4 bridge. Lift the hips evenly up towards the ceiling. Let that right knee drop towards the floor, but see if you can keep the hips parallel. Use the hands out to the side, palms down, but keep the throat soft. Exhale and release. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, the bum muscles, lift the hips up, find a little more height, a little more length. Exhale and release. 1 more full breath in this way. And next time you come all the way down to the mat, feel the back of the tailbone engage deeply in the mat. And as you thread your right arm between the legs, just draw that left thigh in so you can interlace your fingers around the back of your hamstring. Press the right thigh away with the right elbow, and then just notice if you have tension in the shoulders, soften. Let the shoulders get heavier into the mat, flex the ankles, flare the toes. Exhale, gently draw that left thigh in towards the chest. Big, full, beautiful breaths here. Follow that breath all the way through that outer right hip. And then when you're ready, release the bind, but keep the right ankle over the left knee. Maybe cactus the arms, bend the elbows, spread the fingers wide and let both legs fall over to the left. This is my favorite twist. Let the sole of that right foot settle on the mat. Let the right shoulder get heavy into the mat, maybe even gaze to that right elbow. And then just enjoy whatever twist is there. It's always about your own perspective. Change your view, change the outcome. Gently engage your core, bring the knees back to center, and as you untwist your legs and plant the soles of the feet to the mat, heel toe them as wide as the mat once again. Let the knees drop right and left. Just notice the difference between that right hip and that left hip. And when the knees come back to center and your heel toe your feet hip width distance once again, cross the left ankle over the right knee. Flex the ankle, flare the toes. Spread the arms straight out at shoulder height, palms down. And as you flex your left ankle, flare your toes. Figure four bridge. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling again. Keep dropping that left knee down towards the mat, but see if you can keep the left hip parallel to the right. Exhale and unroll one vertebrae at a time. 2 more full breaths in this way. Lighten the right toes, press through the right heel, lift the hips to the sky. Exhale and release. 1 more big, beautiful, long breath here. And then draw the knees towards the chest so you can thread the left arm between the legs, interlace the fingers behind the right hamstring, flex the ankles, flare the toes. Exhale, soften the shoulders deep into your mat, and just exhale that right knee in towards the chest. Use that left elbow to gently draw that left thigh away. And then just simply observe the length of your inhale and exhale here. And when you're ready, release the bind, but keep the left ankle over the right knee. Drop the arms out at shoulder height, but bend your elbows, cactus your arms, and let both legs fall all the way over to the right. The sole of that left foot will surrender onto a block or the floor. And when you're ready, drop the left shoulder heavy into the mat. Let the gaze fall to the left elbow. Surrender to whatever natural twist is here. Surrender to the length of your inhale and exhale. When you gently engage your core to bring your knees back to center and untwist your legs, moving into that windshield wiper one more time. Heel toe the feet as wide as the mat. Let the knees fall left and right. Release the lower back, and then moving into happy baby. Pull the knees in towards the chest. Really important here, drop the bottom of the tailbone deep into the mat. Keep it connected. Tuck your chin, but keep your skull heavy. Take 1 more full breath in here before we move any farther, just noticing the length in your spine. And then when you're ready, slide your hands onto the back of your hamstring, your calf, or maybe take that yogi grip first. 2 fingers and thumb around the big toe. With each inhalation, press the bottom of the tailbone deep into the mat. And with each exhalation, soften the knees into the armpits. Remember to play today. I love to bend one knee, straighten the other. You can stay still, you can rock side to side. You can open both legs. What is it you're craving? How do you want to finish your own practice? And then when you're ready, release the bind, let the soles of the feet touch, and let the feet just fall to the mat. The arms come down to the side body, the palms turn up, the shoulder blades tuck deep down the back body, and then you get really heavy into your mat. Notice that tuck of your chin, the heaviness of the skull. And on your next exhalation, as you soften your belly, can you just let the knees drop open towards the floor? Notice where you're still resisting. Notice what you're still attached to. Let it go. Remembering this is our time to just simply observe. Not labeling, not attaching, not judging. With that observation comes great wisdom. Let your own shine through. And when you're ready, just straighten your legs, moving into Shavasana, our final posture. Wiggle out any last fidgets. Bring the arms down to the side body, turn the palms up. Maybe press into the back of the skull, pull the shoulder blades deeper down the back body, and let yourself sink really deep into your mat here. This is your time. This is what you've worked towards. Let yourself drop a little bit heavier into your mat, knowing that you're always supported. Allow yourself to settle into your breath, knowing there's no hard work left to be done other than simply enjoy the rise and fall of your belly as you breathe in and out. And as you notice where there was once tension, now there is ease. Where there was once physical and mental constriction, now there is flow. Where there was once a disconnection with your heart, now there's a deep connection. Let yourself just breathe here in these spaces. Take a couple more breaths here, just noticing, observing where the mind has wandered to. Thoughts and emotions are going to come and go. And when you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Add a little more movement when you're ready. Maybe reach your arms overhead. Take a nice big morning stretch. Press the palms up, press through the toes, and then exhale, pull the knees in towards the chest. Roll over to the right or the left side body. Settle into that fetal position and just enjoy there. When you're ready, gently press your way to a seated position, but take your time. Maybe you have a block or a bolster, or maybe you simply just want to sit in a crisscross position. But as you settle into this position, I'm not worried about what's next. Just let your hands relax on your lap. Let yourself lengthen up and away from your sit bones. And simply just enjoy the fullness of your next inhalation and the emptiness of your exhale. Let's just finish off with a couple breaths in this way. And when you're ready, draw your hands to heart center. Open your eyes if they're not already. Thank you once again for choosing to share 60 minutes of your time, your practice with me this morning. Remember, it's a new month. We're all adjusting to a new way of life. Enjoy the moment. From my heart to yours, namaste. See you again Friday morning, 8 a.m. for a little more play, a little more joy.